What
Jeez.
you told me? I don't understand what your instructions are.
My instructions were clear. It was make sure everybody stays after pre-market prep because we want you to stick around for Get Technical with us. We're talking some really good stocks with some great upside potential. I'm talking like 80%, guys. So stick with us. Our timing, I know it's a little bit tough. Yeah, get the guy a coffee. Better yet, get him a coffee and a Benzinga Pro mug. Only available at swag.benzinga.com. Guys, Get Technical starts at 9:30 a.m. The timing's a little bit weird for you guys that are really active, right? Because that's at the open. But I want you to know that it's worth having on in the background. Have us there with you. Let the sultry sounds of Spencer's royalty-free music selection and my voice over this $20 gaming headset guide you through your stock market meditations every day. Today we're going to be talking about SENS, OXY. We're going to revisit some of my old picks from over the past week. We've got some serious stuff happening there. SENS, as you guys know, has really picked up steam. It's actually hitting its 52-week high. So I'm not going to say I told you so, but I told you like yesterday. So we'll touch on that. We're also having a contest, guys. We're having another contest. So if you guys missed out last week on our $10,000 giveaway, not actual dollars, but of course 10,000 in Benzinga Pro or Benzinga merchandise and Benzinga Pro subscriptions. We're having another contest. This time it's going to be a little bit different, so make sure you stick around so that you can enter. It is going to have elements of technical analysis, so I want you to let me know what your favorite ticker is. I want you to tell me what patterns you see on it, and we're going to set price targets on that. So it's going to be sort of building your technical know-how into the contest, but the results of the tickers you put in won't affect whether you win or not. So we want it to be, a fair playing field for everyone at all levels of learning. Special guest today. Let me know in chat. Give me a big old 1 in chat if you're familiar with the Strat. The Strat, if you've heard of that. Give me a 2 if you're not. And it's okay if you're not. I think it's like the coolest name for a trading strategy there is. Like it's love it. Italian chef kisses fingers. Give me a 1. All right, I'm seeing majority 2s out of the like 8 people that responded to my prompt. Thank you, you guys. You guys will all get special consideration in the 10,000K giveaway contest for participating in that. So, guys, if you have given a 2, signifying that you're not familiar with the Strat, we've got a treat for you. At 10 a.m., our guest Rob Smith, who created the Strat, will come on, and he does something really cool. He actually looks at like individual candlesticks. So you can be looking at almost any time frame, as far as I understand it, almost any time frame, individual candlesticks that allow you to reasonably predict what's going to happen with the next one. So where I'm looking at patterns, so looking for trend, and then some sort of like, like a monkey eating a banana pattern, perhaps the alien with a bow tie, if you remember Julia Cordova's favorite, the megaphone, the puking camel. These are all just old staples that have been in technical analysis for a long time. Rob Smith has found something really interesting where you can actually look at individual candles in sequences of 1, 2, or 3. I think that's how it works, and reasonably predict what the next one's going to look like. So I think this works for scalping and for swing trading. So definitely stick around for step-by-step how to do that. Because a lot of times when there's not a discernible pattern in a chart and you're having a hard time identifying trend, how cool would it be if you could actually just look at 1 or 2 candles and have an idea of what to do next? So stick around for that with Rob Smith, 10 a.m. I want to also take this, shout out to that bottom blockchain, Brian. Big shout out. I want to take this opportunity too, guys, to remind you that if you want to learn how to trade options, like real good, or gooder than you already do if you're intermediate, and you want to learn about what's going on in the SPAC space, we're going to have SPAC Attacks, Mitch Hutch and Chris Kachi doing some SPAC content at our Benzinga Bootcamp, and we're going to have some of the best option trading educators in the world present for a full day of education, absolutely free. So make sure you go to benzingabootcamp.com to sign up for that. I'll be there. Hot Stocks Luke will be there with his Red Bulls and his Monster Energies. I'll probably be drinking a Bang. By the way, if you guys know anyone that works at Bang, go do me a favor, guys. Do me a favor. If you're familiar with Bang Energy, go on Instagram right now and look up the Bang Energy CEO's Instagram profile. That's all I have to say about that. Other than you're welcome. So guys, again, we've got SENS. We've got we'll probably look at NEO as well. I want to look at some hot stocks that you guys are interested in. So you guys give me ideas, and then I can see if they're valid. I put them in my brokerage account. I make money with them, but we talk about it together. So have your picks ready. We can also talk about gut rot. I was drinking Bang Energies like every morning. Like I was getting crates from Amazon. I was drinking Bang Energies every morning for about a month. And then one day I was talking to Luke, Hot Stocks Luke Jacoby, and he was kind of doing the same thing. And he mentioned, like, man, every time you eat, do you get like a terrible stomachache, like you're about to throw up? And I think at that moment we both realized it was probably the Bangs. So I have since switched to good old instant Folgers coffee in a large, extra large, day trader sized Benzinga Pro mug. Only available at swag.benzinga.com. So guys, GTE. Okay, I'm seeing some interesting tickers in here. I want to get to them, but I want you to know the one that I got, I'm feeling pretty good about because it is, let us say, it is Kardashian-esque. I will say that. It is looking like some big upside potential. And it just got some positive news. If you guys can guess what stock I'm talking about, if you guys can guess what stock I'm talking about, I'll give you one of these mugs. First one to do it. So here it is. I am talking about a stock that's undergoing a reversal pattern. I'm not going to tell you what it is. Give me the ticker. It's a reversal pattern. Okay? It is related to electric vehicles. It's not an electric vehicle company, but it's a thing behind the thing, meaning it's a company that provides something that would be used by those companies. If you guys can, if whoever drops it, who's saying Oxy, that's a petroleum stock. If you guys can drop what ticker this is, it's got a reversal pattern that's resolving over a fairly long period of time, and it's related to electric vehicles, and its upside potential, if you're looking at the pattern properly, it's like 80%. Potential for 80% returns. Let's see. None of you have gotten it. Not a single one. Good guesses, though. I see Workhorse. Good guesses. None of you got it. God. NEO, nope. NEO is an EV company. This would be the company behind the thing. So Jason Raznick, I think, coined this, or he found someone else that said it, and then he yoinked it, and then he twisted it to apply. But it's the thing behind the thing, guys. You guys are just going to have to start doing better. I guess you'll also have to stick around for Get Technical, where I'll give you this stock. 80% upside potential that I've calculated so far on it. It is not a bull pennant. It's not a bull pennant. I know all we talk about is bull pennants, guys, but that's where we are in this market. We just had like a huge return from a V-shaped recovery, and then we had a little bit of a sell-off. So everyone's taking a breather, taking some profits because everything got oversold. So that's great because that gives us an opportunity to find those really strong trends and then look at those consolidation periods and find what types of patterns they make so we can enter those, create entry points for us. I'm not going to tell you what pattern. It's a reversal. That's all I'm going to tell you. We've done 2 reversal patterns on the show so far. I can tell you that, and it hasn't been with this stock. All right, I'm being told that I need to get out by Coach. Coach Spencer is kicking me out so we can do our intro video. I'll see you soon. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Get Technical. I am your host, Neil Hamilton, and this is the show where I teach you all the things that I learned over my 4-year journey working at Benzinga, where I was starting off just sweeping the floors, scheduling Jason Raznick's hair dye appointments, just little guy stuff. But while I was doing that, I heard really smart people like Dennis Dick, Joel L. Conan, and a whole host of other people that we're friends with in the whole trading and investing industry talking about technical analysis, and it always fascinated me. So I decided to really dig in, take some courses, read some books, teach myself as much as possible about how to make money using technical analysis. I love it, and I'm here to share that love and that knowledge with you. Just a reminder, I am not a financial advisor. Everything covered on this show is not financial advice, and it's for educational and entertainment purposes only, hopefully in equal measure. I want to get started with one thing. Guys, we are having another big contest. So for those of you that missed out on the big 10K giveaway last week, you've got another chance, but you've got to stick around until the end of the show after our interview, our educational session with the Strat's Rob Smith to enter. I'll give you the instructions. I'll send you the link so you can register and get in. Also, remember, if you want a full day, morning to afternoon of education about options and SPACs, guys, no matter how much you think you know about options, you don't know. To be honest, a lot of times I trade options. I'm not 100% sure of what's going on. I just know that the percentages change generally if the stock goes in the direction that I want it to go in. I'm going to be learning more. So please join me at benzingabootcamp.com so you can register and be there for that day of SPAC and options trading education. Guys, you all guessed right before the show started, I popped in to ask you if you could guess which EV adjacent company is exhibiting a reversal pattern in its price charts with an upside potential of about 80%. Not a single one of you got it right. Not a single one of you. God, I love you guys. I really love you guys, and I think you guys have so much potential. But we got work to do. We really do. We got work to do. All right, guys, going through lots of really good guesses, though. I will say that a lot of the usual suspects in terms of the EV space. So today we've got Rob Smith, creator of the Strat. The Strat, the coolest name for a trading strategy that exists. The Strat is looking at individual candles, candlesticks on a stock chart, and then getting an idea of what may happen next based on what has already happened. It is like some very focused in technical analysis, and it's very unique. So we're going to get that. Nope, sorry, that's wrong. LEA, not it. KNDI, not it. No. QS, no. Guys, you guys are you're all repeating the same stuff. Yeah, Triple D, rock on. By the way, I did just get into Triple D, the stock, DDD for 3D printing, because I'm on that Cathy Wood, ARK Invest hype train. The ETF PRNT heavily features it, of course. I mean, Triple D, 3D printing, looks really good. So definitely an ETF to check out, guys. Check out Print, PRNT. All right, guys, let's look at some charts. I'm going to add my screen to the screen. Now, I'm getting a lot of guff from my colleagues and from chat alike. I'm going to go through 1, 2, 3 stocks, and then I'm going to give you the mystery stock that you guys have all been trying to guess. So I'm getting a lot of guff about my screen's readability. So drop in chat if there's anything you think I need to do to this screen to make it easier for you to read. One is I'll just, oh shit. Up, 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 up. Yeah, now it looks like my grandma's compact Presario. Shout out grandma, love you. Is there anything that I can do to make it easier for you to read? I know that we're on a delay, so I'll give you a second. Full screen. Okay. Yeah, let's do that. Let's do that. So I'm going to stop this. I'm going to share screen, and then I'm going to share an application window, blah, 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 Chrome tab. There we go. Boom, boom, boom. Does that help? Is that a little bit better, guys? It's very fuzzy. I know it's fuzzy. Guys, if this is fuzzy, I need you guys to email what do I need you to do? How do we do this, Spencer? How do we get this fixed? Email jason@benzinga.com and say that our streaming is way too fuzzy. Just do it. Just do it. You'll get a change. So yeah, I'm not sure why that is, but this is what we got to work with today. So let's go ahead and get into it without wasting any more time. Thank you, Brian. Thank you for saying it looks better. I love you. All right, let's take a look first at OXY. So this is a check-in, guys. OXY, as you remember, reversal pattern, double bottom. I have written up here for you guys how I'm calculating this. So remember, first thing that we identify is a trend. In this case, downward trend. All right, so we're checking back in on a stock we should already know. Let's take a look at it. We've got a gap that needs to close. Has it closed already? Just about yes. All right, so there are some people that were just watching that gap and they're going to sell off. But look, we've got an upward trend. We've got higher highs and higher lows on top of what we like to call a double bottom reversal pattern. All right, so if you guys remember, I drew a line from the base of the W to right about here. I said this is where we need to break out from. We are breaking out. We're getting some bouncing. We're getting that trend up. We set our price target. Actually, let me bring this down to where the meat of the action was. So what we did to set our price target was we said base of the double bottom up to the peak of that W, added to where we're breaking out. Let's go ahead and get that price potential, that earning potential. It's quite a lot, isn't it? Yeah, I don't know if you can see that. Adjust the new on their own end, it won't look fuzzy. Click the settings icon and select a higher. Yeah, guys, if you're watching on YouTube, try clicking the gear on the bottom right and change it to 1080 HD. A lot of times it defaults to auto based on your internet connection and what you normally are watching. Big shout out to John Lopez for helping with that. So again, guys, I'm still in Oxy. I am waiting for the full resolution of this double bottom reversal pattern because I am expecting a price target of about $32 in a couple weeks. All right. So I got in on average at about like 20 something bucks. I got in when I saw the bounce starting to happen, fully expected a bounce. That's what you get after these things. And we're in a trend. We're in a classic trend. It's not a straight line up, guys. You take the stairs up and the elevator down. That's how this works. That's one you can remember. We're taking stairs up and then the elevator down. That's just how it be. So here are my calculations here. All right, that's Oxy check-in. Not too late to get in. I will be watching it and piling in if I continue to see this momentum that we have down here. So let's take a look at the next one for the day. SENS. This is me bragging. I'm leaving my drawings on here. Yeah, they're messy. Let me get rid of that one. Wait, let me move this one a little bit. Hold on. This is SENS, Sensionics Holdings Inc. I don't care what the name of the company is. I care about their ticker and what their price is doing on the chart. All right. This pattern, guys, remember, we've got a bull pennant, baby. A bull pennant. Let me move this stuff out of the way. Look at it doing what I want it to do. Gosh. So cool, guys. Isn't that cool? It's actually at all-time or at least 52-week highs. Yeah, right now. Yeah, it's at a 52-week high right now. And you better bet that if we start breaking through all-time highs, this thing's got even more room to go. But at the very least, I'm looking for the height of this pole right here plus the apex to resolve. And we're more than halfway there. So definitely take a look at SENS. It still has room to go, folks. We are going to run into resistance at these prior highs, of course. But if we test that resistance and we break through that resistance, we're talking all-time highs. So full disclosure, I do own SENS. I also purchased call options on SENS. So I'm very pleased with what is happening with it right now. So that is up 11, almost, yeah, just now switched to 12% on the day. Good money and more to come. Next up, this one, I don't know if this is boring. I was listening to Pre-Market Prep earlier today, and they were talking about how like the FANG stocks, like Facebook, Apple, Amazon, Netflix, Google, or Alphabet, whatever, how they're just not moving anymore. They're kind of not, and it's really, you know, I feel like it's the end of an era. I'm not really sure what the deal is, because I do have some calls in Microsoft. And I know one of you chaps that was in chat yesterday had some calls. So I'm right there with you. I'm holding the bag, meaning that my options contract is going in the opposite direction. I am down on my money, and I'm hoping for some resolution of a pattern, so that I can make money on it. But NVDA, guys. Thank you all of you that are giving folks tips on how to change the resolution on their YouTube screen. It's super helpful. I can feel us developing a friendship. All right, and you don't get that a lot as adults. I'm 31 years old. I feel so lucky to have you guys. All right, so keep doing my bidding, and we'll get along. So guys, what is this pattern? Once again, this is just where we are, guys. We are in a crazy bull market. People want stocks to go higher. That's all there is to it. We've got a ton of buyers driving this stuff up, and we've got a little bit of breathing room here that has caused or created rather a bull pennant. Same thing we just talked about. You can see my drawings on it already. So bull pennant, again, characterized by number one, an upward trend. Got to have a trend. Number two, subsequent lower highs and higher lows. That creates a wedge triangle. All right. So when we're talking about triangles, there are three types of triangles that you're going to see in your continuation patterns and in your reversal patterns. As a matter of fact, the rule of three is going to show up a lot on the show when we're talking about technical analysis. But you're going to see three basic types of triangles. You're going to see a flat line at the bottom, but an angled line at the top. That's a descending triangle. You're going to see a flat line at the top, but with an angled line at the bottom. That is an ascending triangle. And then you're going to see the third one, which we have here, which is more of a wedge shape. This is a wedge shaped triangle. All right, those are the three that you see. They all have different entry and exit points and are sometimes reversals. So in this case, we've got that wedge, which forms a bull pennant, which is that's one of the most bullish continuation patterns there is. We love to find it, and the market is so abundant with these right now. So that's why when we get into the contest, I really want you guys to think about some stocks we haven't talked about, and think about where you might find some of these easy patterns like bull pennants, and then take them down. And we'll get to that a little bit later. You got to stick around for the contest, guys. We got goodies for you, but you got to stick around for them. So the first price target I've set here is very conservative. This is where I take the measured move, which is the swing high, which is basically what makes the top of the pole, to the swing low, which is the first time it goes down and it hits this sloping support line. All right. And then I added that to my breakout. All right. So keep in mind, when we're doing the measured move with the bull pennant, we're adding it to the breakout point. All right. So it's not a pattern. This is not a breakout pattern until it's actually crossed over resistance. So if I see one starting to form, it doesn't matter until I see these candles above it. And in fact, it's best if they close above it. So I'm waiting for that confirmation. We've gotten that confirmation. So my conservative price target here on NVIDIA is about $687. Let's go ahead and measure out how much that is from the breakout, not from where it is today, just the breakout. So that's about a 22% increase on that price target. So not bad. Definitely good. It's beating the S&P, which is about like 12 something percent. So you're beating the market with trades like this. But you can also pull in some leverage by getting a call option when you see a pattern like this. The easiest type of thing to do. So let's do a more aggressive price target. This more aggressive price target is based on the height of the pole. So let's go ahead and do that with NVIDIA. Boom. Boom. So the where the trend started up until the top of the pole. All right, and then we're going to add that to the apex this time. Before we added it to the point of breakout, which is on that support line, or resistance line rather. This time we're adding it to the apex. My calculation was just a little bit off here with my line, but that's okay. Looking at about 942. So let's go ahead and look at where we are today and measure the potential returns on this. We're about 578 right now, roundabouts. Take this thing up. Looking at about 62-ish% returns on that. And just look, I mean, look at the first trend that led into this. Whoops. Oops, sorry, guys. I went to the wrong ticker. We were on, so it was NVIDIA. So I got to enter that, actually. So let's look at how long it took for this first trend to form this pennant pole or flagpole. So we're on the 4 hour. Let's go ahead and switch to a day. This is how I do this, right? So if you want to measure time very easily, you switch to a day or whatever's an easy unit for you to measure in for your increments on your chart. And then we see that, I hope you guys can see this, but it's 116 bars. So it took a little over 3 months for this massive 222% growth in NVIDIA, all right? So I think from that, you can probably pretty easily extrapolate how long it would take for the next increase. All right. So we're looking at probably like perhaps a month and a half, something like that. Guys, let's look at the next stock. This is the one. All right. So this one, guys, this is a thing behind the thing in EV, in electric vehicles. This stock provides a type of technology that maybe we don't talk about enough. I think we're talking a lot about batteries, other aspects of production, but this one produces LiDAR, right? This is laser-based imaging that informs computers or AI, if you want to call it that. So with autonomous vehicles, you have these LiDAR systems that tell the vehicle what's around it. Absolutely necessary if Tesla wants to move into the autonomous space and these other companies want to do the same, as big thought leaders postulate they're going to do within the next 5 years. Boom, Fady Lawrence, you got it. And Thuk KK, you got it. Spencer. Coach Spencer? Coach Spencer, are you there?
Yeah, what's up? I'm here.
Okay, so the people that said MVIS up till this point right now, can you please take down their names so that we can get them a special edition Benzinga mug? Actually, I'll make a Get Technical mug. Do you guys want a Get Technical mug? We'll make you one of those. Can you take those down, please?
Yep, there are 4, right? We're looking at 4. All right, I see.
Yeah, and then check on Skew Boss 1. He's saying he said it about 20 minutes ago. We'll check on that.
Okay.
And other people are still trying to get it in.
Too late.
Yeah, too late now. But we got a contest at the end, guys. Stick around. But yeah, good guess, guys. It's LiDAR technology for electric vehicles. And one thing that caused them to spike recently was news that a certain computer hardware company with a name that sounds like a type of fruit was injecting money into who is it? Kia Hyundai. Like to the tune of like $3.6 billion. Big spike for a stock like this. That's why things behind the things are awesome, because that means that there's new market potential for them.
Oh, Neil, they're not anymore though. Hyundai and Kia said that the talks were off.
Doesn't matter. Still move the price. So the talks are off. Whatever. It still moved it. MVIS is an awesome stock. Let's take a look. I actually did not know that the talks were off.
That's
all
why
right.
I'm here.
That is why you're here. Thank you. Thanks, Coach. All right, guys. What pattern is this? What reality TV star does this remind you of? Thing behind the thing is the new wave. I know. It's that new. All right. This is a huge rounding bottom. Started in like 2011 for MVIS. We had a big old crazy uptick here. So here's what I got to say about this. This is not a cup right now. This is just, you could say this is a saucer. You could say this is a rounding bottom. Why? Because it's following a downward trend, right? Like look at the bigger picture. There's a long downward trend. We got these lower highs going into this. So yeah, it's just a cup. We don't have a handle yet. We might get one though, guys. Here's why I think that we might get a cup and handle. Look at RSI, which is basically it's an indicator of momentum going into a stock, either in the buying direction or in the selling direction. But when RSI is peaking up like this, up into like 81, well above 70, that means that there's so much selling going on that it's considered oversold. So what I would expect with this stock is for some sellers to take some profit. I mean, wouldn't you? Look at that. Look at that. It's gorgeous. To take some profit and for the stock to take a breather, probably in the form of something like boop, like that. All right. That's going to be our handle. Doesn't change where this line is. The handle is going to be below this neck or resistance line. But what we want to happen is for a move, either that goes to the moon, or what is more likely and is most often the case with these is a move above resistance and then a bounce, reaffirming that resistance has become support, and then getting out. So yeah, it is. Did I say oversold? I mean, if I said oversold, that was a mistake. It is overbought. So the sellers are going to take their profit. So I expect, yeah, I messed up, guys. I messed up. It's overbought. So I would expect some steam to blow off, but once it does, this neckline doesn't change. So what we look at is we take, not the paintbrush, we take our handy dandy line tool and we try to find the lowest point on this rounding bottom, which seems to be like right about here, and we draw that up to the neckline. All right, and then we add that to the top of the neckline. That's where we get our target, which is about $30 on this $15 stock. So you guys do the math. I mean, I shouldn't even have to measure this for you. That's a double. So I think, what's the term for that? Spencer, would we say a double bagger? Would we say a two bagger?
Two bagger.
Okay, so potential for a two bagger here, guys. Two bagger on MVIS. You heard it here first. Get technical with Neil. Yeah, so keep a close eye on MVIS. So anyways, keep an eye on this. It is at the point of possible resolution. Things are accelerating. We are in a different paradigm than we were back over this period of time. All right. We're talking about a lot of potential clients for MVIS, and the price is reacting exactly the way we want it to. So stock to watch. All right, guys, that's it for my picks of the day. A two bagger. Thank you. That's it for my picks of the day. We've got about 7 minutes before we introduce our guest. So first, I want to just remind folks, if you want to learn about options and SPACs together as one, join us at the Benzinga Bootcamp, benzingabootcamp.com. Spencer, please drop a link in the chat so folks can get to that free day of education with the option to get the whole recording. Super fun, and you'll learn a lot. All right, guys, let's get some tickers in the meantime. I'll take some tickers. B-U-Z-I. Oh, were you in this? Who dropped this? Were you in this? I lost your name already. Oh well, you know who you are. All right, this stock looks like a lot of other ones right now, doing something very similar. I don't know.
It's Fady Lawrence who said.
Oh, Fady. Oh, Fady, you're like my favorite today. Thank you for the pick. VUZI. This one looks like a lot of others. Here's what I'm gonna say here. We've got a very clear period of just flatness. This is not a rounding bottom. Why? Or at least not one we care about. Why? Because there wasn't really a significant downtrend. There's not really a downtrend. If anything, this whole thing would be like a saucer, which, you know, that's great, but not like really anything significant. Let's look and just see if it worked out. It looks like it kind of did from the low point to about here. Let's go ahead and delete all this stuff, trash it, and then I'm also going to do some retracement on this to see about this trend, which the trend looks like it actually might pick back up based on RSI. So let's go ahead and draw this from here to here. I mean, that looks nice if it's just a saucer. And then let's go to our base, bop, bop. Whoops, that's the wrong tool. We want our line tool. Let's go bop, bop, add that. So actually look at how that worked out. So you did have about the depth of this saucer here resolving. This is not one I would have seen very easily. This is not one that's easy to pick up. So if you got into this and you recognized it, way to go, Fady. Absolutely. Now let's take a look at this trend that it's on. So we're starting to establish a new trend. What I would say is that this is not a trend until we have at least 3 higher highs. So keep that in mind. This can still go back the other direction. We want this. It's the rule of 3, guys. It's throughout this whole thing. So we want to make sure that we are getting that. Another thing, actually, hold on. Let's get funky with this. Let's get a little funky. Fady, you might have recognized what looks like a little bit of a flag here. So that let's see how that clocks out. So something like that, and then we do our measurement of the pole using a line tool. I mean, a really aggressive pole. Add it. Boom. Also hits it. Technical analysis, guys. So cool. So Fady, big shout out to you. Well done if you were timing this out. Not only was the depth of the little saucer pattern here that didn't have a lot of lead up. So in this case, it didn't have a downward trend that we were looking for a reversal on. But if we just took the pole, which is the other side of this saucer, you clearly had an uptrend here. So well done if you got into this. And then, you know, not a huge spike in buy volume, but consistent enough to keep this thing flying. I really hope that if you were in this, you took profits at this sell target. That's what's great about this. So this is a bull pennant. This would have been the sell target. I would have gotten right out before it got to, honestly, I would get out before it got to 16 because a lot of people like to set their limit sells at round numbers, right? So a lot of times it's hard to approach those. It's almost like they have a negative magnetic field. So I like to do like kind of the odd numbers before we hit those round numbers so I can get out before everyone else starts to squeeze me out. So I can get filled. So I get my order filled. Really quick, let's just go ahead and delete everything and let's just use the Fibonacci retracement tool just to analyze the beginning of this trend and see, you know, if there are some points that we can expect it to bounce off of. So yeah, Ramsey's lit. I know this is lit, totally. And if that's a ticker, we'll look at it in a second. So let's go ahead and use our Fibonacci retracement and draw it from the low or the starting of the trend up to the peak. And we can see, look at this. So when we do that, the very like first drop down section here at 38.2% is where the fighting kind of stopped. This was a support line. So this is why you can use a Fibonacci retracement tool from the base of your upswing to the top of your upswing, or the base of the trend to the top of the trend. And then when there's a dip is what this is for. This is to analyze trends that are moving in a zigzag pattern so that you can time these things for entries. And so what we got is some consolidation right on it. Right on it, guys. And then look where it broke out. It broke out right at the top. All right, that green candle picked up. And then another cool thing we can do is bring this all the way, whoops, not the paintbrush. Bring this all the way up to, come on, paintbrush. We can move this all the way up to the top. And it looks like it's not quite exact. It's not perfect. Let's see if it's perfect if we do it this way. Yeah, you can see that we caught support right at about 78.6. And if you ask Ryan Faluna, who's going to be doing the Benzinga Pro Power Hour right after me, around 10:30 a.m. Eastern, he will say that if a stock starts to go down past this 78.6 on the Fibonacci retracement and starts to approach 100, it's starting to look like a reversal of a trend. And he's looking at probably getting out or otherwise shorting, taking a short position. All right, next ticker up. I'm going to scroll up a little bit, so I want to make sure. Let's do AAP. Let's do GGB, actually. Just kidding. Tricked you. Ooh. I love that you guys are giving me all of these lower price stocks, because normally I'm looking at stuff that's more in like the 20 to 40 range. So this is awesome. So we've got a rounded bottom for sure. Doesn't look like it got a clear resolution, however. So I want to look at this in an even longer time frame, because it looks like we got a long storied history with this one going all the way back to 03. So what is this? What is this, Spencer?
I gotta say, this is a new one for me.
This is a new one. This one, what are you doing to us?
Yeah, this is where Benzinga Pro comes in handy. Plug. Oh, this is a miner. Metals and mining.
Do you find that on Pro?
Damn right. They produce steel and steel products. Okay.
Oh, commodities, baby. Yeah, shout out Commodities Super Cycle. Let's go. Thank you, Steven. You're on top of your game. So we got, and thank you, Benzinga Pro. Guys, remember, Benzinga Pro is the best. There's nothing in the world like it. App for you to figure out what the heck is going on with a stock. If you want to know what it is, why it's moving, its history, catalysts involved with the stock, Benzinga Pro is where it's at. So here's what we got. We've got a rounding bottom that's just trying to come out. It's just not ready to, though. It's just not ready. Actually, you could, yeah, man, this could be like a triple bottom. It's not a clean triple bottom. So we've covered double bottoms, right? And triple bottom is exactly what it sounds like. It's bop, bop, bop. It's a booty with an extra booty cheek. So we've got kind of touching the top here, kind of touching the top here, kind of touching the top here. This thing is just trying to break out. I would look for probably another test of resistance and then a surge in volume. And I think that you might be able to reasonably make the case for about a $9.42 price target, which is not, I mean, it's nothing to shake a stick at. I mean, that's pretty massive. So I'm looking at like 80% gain on that. So not bad. It's not something that I would buy options on, but it's something that I would buy a couple shares of and then pile in it if a trend starts to pick up. Again, the more times that resistance is tested, the more likely it is to break out. So this really is just like a rounding bottom and then a couple variations on top of that, testing resistance, trying to break out. And we've got a really good amount of buying volume here. I really need to boost the opacity of my candles and trend line and trading view. They're at full. What? Okay, I will. I won't do it now because it's going to take too much time. I'm actually over time. Guys, thank you for your picks. It is my pleasure now to bring on. Actually, our guest isn't here.
Yeah, we're just shot him a note. So.
Okay, guys. All right, so we got a little bit of time. Mar, I appreciate you giving me the instructions or telling me that I need to increase the opacity. I'm totally willing to do it. Just I don't want to do it right now because I don't want to spend too much time on that kind of stuff. Let's look at CCJ. We got a little bit of time. So what? My opacity? How do I do it? Background, vertical grid lines. Opacity is 100%, guys. Well, you want them like this? Like this? Is this what you want? Spencer, mute yourself. I hear joviality behind you. It's making me sick. Is this what you want, guys? I don't know. I'm turning that off for now. I don't feel good about that. That's gonna be a nice gray color. How about that? No, that's not what you want. Okay. Tell me what you want, guys. I'm gonna leave it like this. All right. I don't like too much stuff going on. I love TradingView, but I don't like how it's got so much like stuff on the chart. Like if anything, I would like just maybe choose a brighter. Okay, so we'll do that. We'll mess with the candle really quick. Where do I do that? Is that also here? Appearance, scales, status line symbol, body, borders wick. Body will get a brighter green, get a brighter red, really deep blood red, or maybe like a neon. Borders doesn't matter. Wicks probably matter. So a nice neon green and that red. Yeah, we want pink. Stop with the get white background. Come on, guys. Dark background's cool. Dark background's a cool one. Okay, fine. I'll change the background. You all caps me.
Oh, so when
I can't say no to all caps.
Wait. So when I say it's a bad idea, but when someone in the chat says it's a good idea, is that right?
Yeah, that's exactly right. It's called rebellion.
Fine.
All right. So I think this the things I do for you guys. This thing's so ugly. All right. So how do I make the dark background is terrible on mobile? Fine. All right. How do I make it white? Let's back into this menu. Symbol, body, status line, blah blah blah. Appearance, background solid, background white. Oh, it hurts my eyes. This is what you guys want from me? Okay, we'll do white for a day. We'll see how it goes. And here's what I'll do. If you guys like it, make sure you subscribe. Make sure you like. All right. If this works, like and subscribe. And if it doesn't work, just subscribe and like. All right. Don't be weird.
All right. We have our guest. I was going to say we have our guest.
Sean, no, I'm actually very thankful. I appreciate you guys making me better. White is boomer trading certified. Danny, you said it, not me. Guys, it is my pleasure to stop sharing my TradingView screen with you and bring on our guest for the day, creator of the Strat and educator, trader, Rob Smith. Coach Spencer, if we can get Rob.
Yeah, I just wanted to know that Rob's doesn't have a camera, so it's just going to be the dulcet.
Rob has a great voice. Rob has a radio voice, guys. Okay. He's like Casey Kasem with like 10 cups of coffee.
All right, here we go.
Rob, let me know if that's an accurate description.
Yeah, it's something like that. You know, it's always get fired up because we've always got a lot going on. You know, with the Strat, there's always so many signals that we're following. So I've got to be like that because I'm always talking to a large audience that's trading a lot of different things at the same time. So I'm always trying to fragment it and be like, all right, you guys here, you guys here, you guys here, you guys here now. So yeah, always fired up, man, especially when I get a new audience of people to talk to, to introduce to the Strat because anybody who's not familiar with me, what you're going to hear me say a lot is that eventually everybody's going to trade this way. It's just no two ways about it. It's just it makes too much sense.
Rob, I love it. I love it. And I think it's great. And what I want to know for the folks here today, if you wouldn't mind letting us all know, what is the Strat?
Okay, basically it's short for the strategy, right? And so we use hashtag the Strat so we can communicate on Twitter, you know, with I'm up to 41,000 followers because and so we've got a lot of people that can communicate very quickly. So basically what it is, am I going to be able to screen share today?
Yeah, you should be able to go to the bottom. It's a lot like Zoom.
Okay.
So if you go to the bottom, you see a share.
Share. There we go. Let me see.
And then Coach Spencer will make sure you get hooked up.
Okay. Share screen. And let's see. I'll make sure it's gonna. Okay. Yeah, it's gonna tell me which ones. because I got eight
I know.
screens on this one. And
guys, if you've ever seen, go on Twitter. I don't know, Rob, if you got any pictures of your setup. Do you call it the beast or the monster?
I've got two computers. One is the beauty and one is the beast. And so the beast has been around 10 years.
So if you guys imagine like your like serious trader setup with like 1 billion monitors, this is like that with like meme energy injected in it. This guy has so many monitors, absolutely insane. But it's because you're looking at so many things at once.
That's right. It's because once you understand the strat, which if you're new to the strat today, I'm very excited to talk to you because, one of the things about it is that it customizes itself to who you are. And what I mean by that is that Ryan has interviewed myself as well as 6 other traders and continues to interview with more strat traders because everybody trades it a little differently. Because you're going to be customizing them. Like if you have $1 million, do you have $50,000? Do you have $50,000? Do you have $5,000? What type of a person are you? And it customizes itself to who you are. And I'm going to point out exactly what I mean by that. But I want to show you the setup since you're pointing it out. Let me see. Sorry, I was spazzing out there trying to figure out how to get in here. Hold on. Come on.
You
man.
do what you got to do. I'm going to step away just for 1 second. I got to take care of a thing. Spencer here's got your back.
Gotcha. So here's my setup. And so it's 16 screens. And the reason some people say that's overkill, but the thing about it is that once you understand the strat, there's so many signals at any given day. There's so much opportunity. All right. So I always got to speak to like brand new audience, right? But this is what I'm looking at right now. But let's take a look at the monthly SPY. All right. So in a nutshell, it's very basic and it's going to make sense to you, okay? There's only 3 things that can happen from one bar to the next, okay? So if you look at here, we call them the 3 scenarios. There's only 3 things that can possibly happen. You'll notice this is an inside bar. It wasn't strong enough to take this out high, and it wasn't weak enough to take that out, all right? That's a scenario 1. That's an inside bar. Do you want to trade that? No, it's doing nothing. Right now, on a monthly basis, you can have more time and a bigger range. So you can still, on a monthly basis, you could still do that, but you want to be aware of it. The other thing that can possibly happen is you take out one side here. This bar takes out the low. That's a 2, scenario 2. In this case, it's a down. The other thing that can happen is this, an outside bar that takes out both sides. This is one of the most important things you can understand, that this phenomenon happens. So as opposed to classic technical analysis where we'll be looking for chart patterns, you want to look for this. Once something starts to fail a previous range, right? Tries to take it out and starts to fail, it's going to take out the other side. That phenomenon definitely exists, right? And so understanding that is how you properly gauge magnitude. How far is this thing going to go? Because we know that that phenomenon exists, once you start failing, you're going back the other way. Another thing that you want to look for is things coming back through a previous range. So you'll notice this is a large broadening formation of the monthly S&P SPY, right? Higher high, lower low, higher high, lower low. If these 2 months were one bar, they would be an outside bar of all this, right? They would. Right. So understanding that phenomenon is the most important thing you can understand, because when you go back to classic technical analysis, you have to understand that classic technical analysis has failed miserably. All right. Maybe 90% of people who try and trade have failed. And if that's you or you're struggling, don't blame yourself. It's applying the wrong science. All right. Price doesn't move. It aggregates. For every buyer, you have to have a seller. The question is, who's getting their price? Also, the other aspect of the strat, not only that we understand this, there's only so many ways price can reverse and only so many ways price can continue, right? So if you just know the key reversals, there's a few more, but if you look at this, one type of reversal here, this is a 2 up by taking this out, right? 2 up, 2 down, right here. This is your reversal. And if you knew that in October 2018, you caught this. There's only so many ways it can continue. your inside bar, your 2, 1, 2 down. Another reversal, a 2 down by taking out the low, inside bar, 2 up.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And another way it reverses is the 3 itself. Goes up, boom, down. Right? Now, the other aspect that's going to make total sense to you, right, is time frame continuity. We know what algorithms are doing. All right? We separate by price and time. The monthly, the weekly, the daily, and the 60-minute opening. Right? Okay, so the question is, who's getting their price on the aggregation series? Right? Now, if the openings are all higher, if the price is higher than all those separate openings, we know what algorithms are doing, because algorithmic trading is over 70% of trading now, and people think that they're these evil robots coming after you. They're not. They're stupid. They're telling you exactly what they're doing. So you have to tell a program 4 things. What do you want it to trade? Do you want it to buy or sell? How do you want it to buy or sell? By taking the offer or staying on the bid? Or how do you buy, or how do you want it to sell by hitting the bid or staying on the offer? And when do you want it when do you want it to do it? Now, when you have 4 separate openings, see maybe some SWKS this morning. Netflix. When you have 4 separate openings, right? And we're about to have that for the first time this month in 15 minutes, right?
And really quick, you might have covered this, but I can't see. What increment are you on right now?
Right now, this is a monthly chart of SWKS.
Got it.
Okay, so for the month, this is great. If we go to the weekly, it's green. If we go to the day, it's green. And if you go to the 60-minute, it's green. And a nice move here and an outside bar. So once this thing starts coming up, we know this thing's going to go 3 here. So what we know for sure of algorithmic trading, they told them, SWKS, I want you to buy it, and I want you to take the offer, and I want you to do it right now. That's exactly what they told them. So we can pick up on algorithmic trading all day long. They're stupid. They're not that smart. So if you go back to the SPY, right? Based on what I just told you, right? On the monthly, everything is crystal clear, right? Now, if you were trying to find follow a 200-day moving average, you would have gotten destroyed in here. So let's take a look at just following the SPY of what I just told you. This is a 2 up, 2 down reversal. This is a 2, 1, 2 continuation. And this here, when this is moving down like this, full time frame continuity to the downside, right? Now, 2, 1, 2 reversal back up, right? Yes. Then up here, the failed 2 goes 3, continuation 3, 2. And here, very interesting spot here. Way below the 200-day moving average, right? It's like, however, this was April of last year, which is a new quarter, which means as soon as this opened, not only did you have quarterly continuity, but the month, the week, the day, and the 60 went green, way below the 200-day moving average. That's when the algorithms were told to buy, and we knew that. So then when it came up here, we're still an inside bar. This is the 2-1-2 reversal here. This is where you can get long. Then you're going to have an inside bar here, consolidation. Boom, back to the highs, right? It is. And so when we do this, it's like what we can do is the market is always going to trade in the direction of continuity, and the most 2s in the same direction, or failed 2s go 3. It has to. There's no way it can't. So when we scan, I don't have to look at a chart. I can tell you what the market's doing simply by scanning, by looking at how many 2s are in what direction on a monthly, weekly, and daily basis. And we're always constantly doing that. And so when people are trying to guess what a reversal is, you don't have to do that. It's like we know what they look for. It's a 2-2, a 2-1-2, or a failed 2 goes 3. Now, there's a few other ways, but if you simply know that, you'll hear people say, I want to buy the dip. I'm like, you don't buy the dip, you trade the reversal, right? You need to wait for a reversal. When things occur really matters, right? So some people will sit there and say, well, if it breaks above my level, I'm going to get in. I'm like, okay, well, what if it does that 5 minutes before the close on Friday? What if it does that on Tuesday at noon? What if it does that and the earnings are coming out, right? When things occur really matters. And a lot of people don't understand that, because especially when it comes to the psychology of looking at a chart, right? So every 60-minute bottom of the hour is like a new day to us, right? Because you're about to see a new bar. So when you see something like here, when it's going up here, and you're like, no one at this point, before any of this, would say the chart looks bad. You're green and you're going into the highs. At that point, they'll say, well, I'm going to wait for the pullback and then I'll buy something, right? And then, boom, now the thing about higher highs or lower lows, because we know broadening formations exist, that's when you're at risk of getting killed. So if you've ever made a little, then gotten killed and lost it all and then some, that's because you didn't know about this phenomenon, right? Now the range is expanding, right? And you get killed, right?
So Rob, for folks that are not taking notes right now, do you have any type of material that lays this out in pictures so people can kind of keep it in front of them while they trade?
Oh, yes. I'm at tickertalker.com, and I've got an extensive library of newsletters and a course that you can learn it all. I'm on the headset 7 hours a day, directing the traffic. So right now I abandoned them to come see you. But the good thing is we can communicate very quickly. I make a video every single night, and it's rarely over 3 minutes, because we know what to look for. It's no subjectivity of 15 minutes of like, well, this could be a buy and this is a thing. It's like, no, these are the buys, these are the sells. This is what we're looking at exactly, right? Because we know. And so the communication is really key, where we can communicate very quickly. So when I'm on the headset during the day, everybody knows exactly what I'm talking about, right? Because we all think exactly the same way. That's when Ryan started interviewing a bunch of us, that he picked up on that. He's like, you guys all think exactly alike, and yet you traded a little differently, right? Because everybody's going to be different. I'm like, a lot of people don't have the big accounts to trade Amazons or whatever. And a lot of people don't want to trade the real animals. They said, Rob, give me the slow and steadies, because I make a macro video once a month about the quarterly and yearly signals. And so some people will stay on those signals, because Ford Motor Company, and we like to call it Grandpappy, because like, really, you're trading Ford? I'm like, but Ford finally gave the buy signal. And here's your broadening formation at Ford. And I'll show you where our buy signal was on a macro basis. Here, let me get my TC2000 up there.
And Rob, we're at about 4 minutes left here, about three or 4 minutes left. So I want to make sure that folks that are like me, I want to join. I want to have the same brain as all the stratters. Okay. All right, I'm jealous. I got FOMO. So make sure that we know how to really get in here. But go ahead and finish your thought here. Also,
here at Benzinga, there's a Strat chat room. Go there. Benzinga has the Strat chat room. Go there. You're gonna meet people right there. They'll send you.
That's in Benzinga Pro. Go on pro.benzinga.com. Go in the Strat chat room. There's a bunch of stratters in there.
Yep. And my youngest stratter's 14. She's been trading for 2 years, and she's been trading Bitcoin long for 2 years. And she's awesome. So I wanted to show you this.
Man, the Strat has to work great on cryptocurrencies like this. So purely technical.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. So if we go to the SPY, I just want to show you.
That's fun.
Over time, on a yearly basis, if you were to manage money, right, and you were just following the Strat. As a matter of fact, last year, Merrill Lynch Private Asset Management has dedicated $1.5 billion to Strat-based investing. Now, if you look at this on a yearly basis, SPY, this is a 2 up. This is a 2 up. This is going back to the 80s. 2 up, 2 up, 2 up. Still good. 2, 2, 2, 2, 2 up, 2, 2 reversal. This would have gotten you out or short in the year 2000. 2 down, inside year here in 03. This is a 2-1-2 reversal year. 2-2-2. Financial crisis. 2-2 reversal here that wipes them out. So one of the things about going back through a previous range, not only do you have the algorithm selling, right, but we want to go back to a previous range. And the important part about that is because if the algos are told to sell, when you go back to a previous range, people are going to be stopped against this obvious pivots, right? And so as they get stopped out, they remove liquidity and makes the price move faster, right? So you always want to be coming back to a previous range. But then look at this. Here's your 2-2 reversal, 2 down, 2-2 on the year. Back up you go in 2010 and 2-2-2-2-2-2-2, and you get the rest is history. And then last year, the big outside bar. I don't have time to talk about that, but looks like we're running out of time. But yeah, here's Benzinga Pro. I'm on the headset at Ticker Talker all day, but I'm also chatting with the Stratters here at Benzinga Pro. So come see us because you're already there.
Absolutely. So I dropped a link to get right over to Ticker Talker. And then also, guys, as always, it's pro.benzinga.com. The chat room has it has actually a separate room dedicated to people using the Strat. And then I think what a great starting point is, Rob, and correct me if I'm wrong, and this is at least what I feel I need, is a little bit of a cheat sheet on the 1, 2, and 3.
We got that. We've got that. So we have our setups and our magnitude. I can get that to you. Let me see. Whoop. Because here's another thing that's key. We already know what winning and losing trades look like. All right. Winning trades look like this: favorable 2, favorable 3, time frame continuity in your favor. Losing trades are trading a 1, fighting a 2, getting killed by a 3, and time frame continuity against you. So when you have that checklist up, let me get that for you real quick. When you have that checklist up, we already know what winning and losing trades look like before we even get in there. Checklist, where are you, boy?
And while you're doing that, I just want to let folks know as soon as we wrap up here with Rob Smith, creator of the Strat, we're going to go over that contest for that big old Benzinga giveaway.
All right.
We'll talk about the rules and so forth.
Right here is what I tell people to keep on their desk. All right. Also, when you trade, it's good to say out loud what you're doing and why you're doing it. Right. So most people know that a trader's worst enemy is themselves. And one of the good things about trading the Strat is we all think alike, right? And so that we believe that trading should be a 2-person job, right? And so when you learn the Strat and then you have me on the headset all day, I become the world's greatest assistant. And you're like, oh, I want to go to lunch and I want to get out of this and I'm making money. I'm like, still good. That's still good. You do not sell that. It is still good, right? And that's a really important aspect of what we do, because we all communicate the same way. And if somebody steps out of line and breaks one of these rules, we know they're going to lose. And we're like, don't do it. don't. So
I love the community aspect. So there's 2 wings going on here, guys. There's a unique form of technical analysis, little bit new age, right? And then in addition to that is an aspect of community, the concept of trading together. So super, super cool. Rob, that's why I wanted you to have you on, so that you could share that with folks that weren't aware of it. So thank you so much for joining us today. It's absolutely been educational. It's been a blast. And I would love to have you on again in the future.
Definitely, because here's one of the things that we also have that you were asking about right here is all the Strat combos. There's only so many ways that price continues, and there's only so many ways price reverses, right? Once you know this, you know exactly what you're looking at. You line it up with multiple time frame analysis, and we don't think anymore. We know what's happening and why it should happen. So thanks for having me, Neil.
Thanks for coming on, Rob. And guys, again, that's tickertalker.com to catch more from him. We'll drop his Twitter handle in the chat as well. And you can find more Stratters and sometimes Rob himself in the Benzinga Pro chat dedicated to the Strat. Rob, thanks so much, man, and have a great Tuesday, sir.
All right. Thank you. You too. All right. Bye.
Thanks. Guys, really quick, we've got just a few minutes for me to do 2 things. One is say, in your face, chat, I gave you a great trade, and if you guys didn't, well, I don't want to go too hard on it. But guys, I saw people talking about Mara Marathon Patent Group. I think that was on the first episode of Get Technical. So really quick, I'm going to add. Oh, not that. Really quick, I'm going to share my screen. And the background's the way you guys want it. Let's go ahead and take a look at this full screen. Look how it is doing all that. This is you guys. This is you guys doing this to me. All right, this is the stuff I do for you. I have no idea what that is. Mara up 20.92% on one of the first patterns that we talked about. Remember the cup and handle, guys. Cup and handle is resolving. Beautiful, beautiful trade. Huge congrats if you guys got into MARA. If you did, pat yourself on the back. And I don't know if you can see it here. Also subscribe. Subscribe. Do you know that only 30% now of the people watching this show are subscribed? Oh, God. Don't be weird. Subscribe and hit the like button. Go back to dark. Go back to gray. We'll figure it out. I'll let you guys vote on it. Let's talk about the contest, guys. Let me get that opened up. Coach Spencer, can you please drop the link to the registration sheet into chat?
Yes, 1 second.
Okay, I'm also going to do it. You know, I'm just going to do it.
No, I got it. I got it. There it is.
I beat you. I'm faster.
No,
So I dropped the link in there. Guys, this contest, let's talk about the prizes. All right? Prize number 1, first place winner, Benzinga Pro lifetime subscription. I got in trouble last time because I gave away too many. All right, so don't tell anyone about this. It's between us, just for the Get Technical crew. This new friendship that we're forming. Second place, BZ shirt and mug. Third place, fourth place, just a shirt. But I mean, God, the shirt, it says 35 plus value. These shirts, honestly, I think are worth well over $200. And then for everyone else, free bootcamp access at benzingabootcamp.com. How does this contest work? Great question, guys. Let's zoom out. You guys are already doing it. You guys get it. You're smart. So I did one for you. I put in first my email address. I put in my stock ticker. The whole point of this contest, guys, is I want you guys to show me that you can identify patterns and set buy and sell targets. That's the whole point. So give me your email address, give me the ticker, give me the pattern that you're seeing, give me your entry point based on the pattern and the rules that follow it, give me your sell target based on the pattern and the rules that go along with it, and the percentage returns that you expect. This is an exercise guide, and hopefully you guys are finding some trade ideas of your own. And then when we're done with this, I want you guys to actually come back and brag and tell me what you guys came up with. Am I crowdsourcing you for trade ideas? Yes. All right. Am I also trying to turn this into a pedagogical tool to make you stronger, more independent traders who are capable of attaining your own financial freedom? Yes, of course. Come on. One thing to note, we're going to do the thing that we did last time where I put all of your email addresses into a random shuffling program to come up with the winner. So the performance of your stock does not determine whether you win or lose. This is an even playing field. As long as you enter and you follow the rules, you have the same chance of winning as everyone else. But you can do one more thing. Here, if you tweet the following tweet, I will put your email address into the shuffling system twice. I think that doubles your chances of winning. If there are any mathematicians on here, just keep it to yourself. But it gets you in there twice. So the tweet, guys, all you have to do is tweet on Twitter. Get Technical with Neil's tweets is just better than Zinger Nation with at Luke Jacoby, and then Money Tongue Face and at Benzinga. And I'm gonna spice this. This is just for the algorithms, guys. This is not anything else. This is for that. Sorry, not hashtag sorry, not sorry. If you guys do that, I will put your email into the contest twice. giving you a much better chance of winning. Thank you guys for filling this in. We'll leave the chart up. I'll tweet it out. Follow me at Neil's tweets. I'll tweet it out so you guys get another chance. We'll leave registration open all week, and then next week we'll come back with the winners. Remember, you will get a much better chance of winning if you tweet Get Technical at Neil's tweets is just better than Zinger Nation with Luke Jacoby at Benzinga. Hashtag sorry, not sorry. Thank you so much for joining us for the show. Hopefully it was educational. Just a reminder, this is not financial advice. This is for entertainment and education purposes only. I really enjoyed my time with you. You guys are a lot of fun. I will fix my charts today to make them as legible as possible. I'll do some tests with Coach Spencer. I hope you enjoyed Rob Smith. Make sure you check him out at tickertalker.com. And with that, that's our show today. That's Get Technical with Neil. And next up is the Benzinga Pro Power Hour with my friend and a wonderful technical trader, Ryan Faluna. Thanks, everyone. Have a good day.